Now, earlier this week at an event in Youngstown, Ohio, Senator Barack Obama once again mentioned yours truly. Now, the senator was fielding a comment from one of his supporters when I came into the mix. Let's take a look.
If this is our next president, he will, in fact, lead not only the Democratic Party, but this entire country from a culture of criticism to a culture of recognition. Thank you.
All right, well, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I might have to put Mr. Burgess on Fox News. You know, give him. I'll put Mr. Burgess up against Sean Hannity.
And so we decided to take Mr. Obama's suggestion as I go head-to-head with that supporter, Truman Burgess. It's the man that is here on behalf of Barack Obama to tear me up. You ready to go?
Sure am.
All right, so now that's your first, you said, hire me. This is your first mission for Senator Obama. Do you really plan on tearing me up?
No, I don't. I really don't. Just a little fun, little joke. No, we don't plan on tearing you up.
All right, do you think that's, I don't know, statesman-like? You know, here is a guy that wants to be president of the United States, hoping that somebody who just disagrees with me he uses that phrase, tear me up?
Again, let me say that was done in jest. I'm pretty sure. It wasn't done in mean-spirited or nothing like that. It was merely done just to probably pay a little something to me because of the presentation that I made. And I don't think we're going to tear you up. I don't think we can tear you up. You're a tough guy.
I'm a pussycat. Trust me, I'm a nice guy. And by the way, you seem like a nice guy too. And let me say for the record, I watched what you said, and I admire your passion. I admire the fact you said you studied the candidate. You said that you care that much about your country and about the issues and about who's the next president. And so I say kudos to you. Let me ask you this. Do you think Senator Obama, for example, would meet with Kim Jong-il, Hugo Chavez, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad without preconditions? But he won't come on this program. He's mentioned me twice in 3 weeks. Don't you think that he should come on the program and answer some questions that I might have for him?
Sean, I'll tell you what. I like you. I've been in that business. I'm a facilitator to a degree in which you are, and I understand the time frame that you're under. But I can see when a candidate would come on to your program, a lot of times they don't have the opportunity to actually respond to some of the questions because they're cut off, and I understand that's simply because of a time frame.
You were upset. I have many times, and I have my whole laundry list. I am forbidden for bringing the whole list up because it'll take up the entire segment. Of all the flip-flopping of Senator Obama. Now, you take issue with the idea that he's, quote, flip-flopped. Let me just play some tape for you and see if I can't persuade you with Barack Obama's own words.
Now the latest scheme is, well, we're going to drill offshore. I know how bad people are hurting. So if I thought that by drilling offshore, we could solve our problem, I'd do it. Like all compromises, this one has its drawbacks. It does include a limited amount of new offshore drilling. And while I still don't believe that's a particularly meaningful short-term or long-term solution, what I've said is I'm willing to consider it if it's necessary to actually pass a comprehensive plan.
I would be very interested in pursuing public financing because I think not every candidate is going to be able to do what I've done in this campaign, and I think it's important to think about future campaigns.
We've made the decision not to participate in the public financing system for the general election. This means we'll be foregoing more than $80 million in public funds during the final months of this election.
I will bring this war to an end in 2009. It is time to bring our troops home.
I've always said that the pace of withdrawal would be dictated by the safety and security of our troops and the need to maintain stability. That assessment has not changed.
Truman, we've got some of the most significant issues of our time: Iraq, energy, drilling, et cetera, public financing of campaigns. And then, meeting with Ahmadinejad without preconditions. Iran is not a serious threat. 2 days later, Iran is a grave threat. Does any of that, you say that's not flip-flopping. Isn't that go to the
Yes.
core of who he is?
No, Sean, you hit the nail on the head when you made that statement there. It's not flip-flopping. Again, it's reassessing, because situations and time tends to change things so much that we have to be flexible enough to make that transition, to make that change, to say, yes, I know what I said 3 months ago in terms of a particular issue or concern that it happened to be problematic politically at that time. But again, let me reassess and say that what I said then, that situation has changed, and I now have to rethink my position now.
Truman, I will tell you and argue that 90% of the positions that he took, 90% of the positions he took when he was seeking the nomination against Hillary Clinton, he's now taken Hillary Clinton's position on the issues, those very areas when he was appealing to liberal voters in the election. Every one of them. Now, I would argue that that is a candidate not of change. That is the quintessential politician that has created a situation where Washington, D.C. is broken because he's saying it because he wants to get elected and will say anything to get elected. Why shouldn't I think that when he changes on so many things?
And you have that right to think that, because like the old cliche is that politicians make strange bedfellows. And we know for a fact that no one's perfect in this system. And we'll see a lot of these things jockeying around as we come down to the big day. And a lot of things are going to change. A lot of things are going to be said that maybe politicians, in fact, will regret saying and have to change. But it's going to be there. And you and I both know the outcome of that. We both know what happens when you do that.
Look, I respect your position. I respect the fact that you, unlike Senator Obama, had the courage to come on the program. But I am suspicious that no matter what Barack Obama says or done, you've made up your mind. I'm not going to be able to convince you. But I feel bruised. I feel like you tore me up. I'm in trouble here. And you really want Senator Obama to give you that job, right?
There's no job. I'm a retiree. I'm satisfied where I'm at. I do community work. No, sirree. I'm doing this because I feel like there's a need for everybody that out there that needs to be met, and I think that he's the individual who can be there and do that for them.
Will you consider voting for John McCain if Barack Obama continues down this path of radical associations, poor judgment, and continuing to change his mind?
Let me say this. I think right now, if Barack Obama is listening to you, then he will probably make that transition himself, that change. So I'm sure that I'll continue with my allegiance to Senator Barack Obama.
All right, Truman, thank you for coming up here and tearing me up on behalf of Senator Obama. I'm hurting, and we'll let the senator know he's invited on this program. Senator, John McCain had the courage to come on the program. You have the full hour to say whatever you want to the American people. I hope he'll show the courage that Truman showed here today. Thank you for being with us, Truman. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend.